Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to review the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook edition of Highlander. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, Highlander is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Lionsgate. It comes in the standard slipcover edition, available at your local and online retailers, as well as a Best Buy exclusive steelbook. Now, as far as the film itself, I have always been a fan of the movie. Of course, I am a big fan of just fantasy, sword fights, historical dramas. This has all that rolled up into one, and the cast in this, amazing. I mean, we have Christopher Lambert, Sean Connery, Clancy Brown as Kurgan. I mean, iconic role there. And the movie is spawned, of course, numerous sequels, which degrees of quality are, you know, debatable. And also, I feel a really solid spin-off show. I was actually a big fan of the series. So, going back to the original movie, loved it. It's still one that I remember all the physical copies I've ever owned of it, way back in the Laserdisc days. And, you know, since then, you know, there have been various releases, but now here on 4K, I'm very happy that a movie like this was given a good, you know, 4K release. Spoiler alert, it is very good. But yeah, I mean, this has got some great elements. It's a fun fantasy film, and come on, Queen. The Queen soundtrack is worth the price of admission, in my opinion. It is just a well-rounded movie. You know, I know there's talks of a reboot with Henry Cavill playing Connor McLeod, but, you know, for me, going back to this one, I think, you know, as some elements are dated, I still enjoy it a lot. It is one I go back to at least once a year or so, and I'm very happy that it's now in 4K. And yeah, Highlander, just check it out. It really is just a fun time. All right, we're going to talk about the picture quality and the audio in just a moment, but first, let's do a quick unboxing of the Steelbook. Okay, we have the Best Buy exclusive 4K Steelbook edition of Highlander. I really like it. Lionsgate lately has been putting slipcovers on their Steelbooks. This one I think is solid. I really like the artwork and the look of the steel. Now we have the back. And then interior art. I really like it. I think it's so cool. Back. And then we have some lobby cards here. Those that collect that. And then we have artwork on the discs. So yeah, I mean, really, you know, I think this is a nice overall presentation. Here's some artwork here. I think Lionsgate did a great job, and it's only available at Best Buy. Now let's talk about the picture quality and the audio. Highlander on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has a 1:5:1 aspect ratio with native 4K resolution and graded with both HDR10 and Dolby Vision. For purposes of this review, I will be discussing the Dolby Vision encode. The 4K disc utilizes a 2016 restoration for the transfer of this newest release. If you're a longtime fan of Highlander on earlier formats, you know full well it's had an often problematic history. With the restoration, the source has been cleaned up considerably, freeing the image of dirt and blemishes. As for the film grain, it's wonderfully intact for better or for worse. Grain haters aren't going to have it easy, as grain structure is both heavier and at times inconsistent. For most of the film, the 35mm source produces a medium density layer. Some transition and darker shots look chunkier, but also a random shot or two here and there look as if there's no grain at all. I don't believe any egregious DNR was used, though I do suspect the inconsistency is baked in from the source. I will say the image is arguably, aside from the initial theatrical run, it's the best it has looked on a home format. The color palette is respectfully assisted from the Dolby Vision grading. What stood out to me the most was in the flashbacks with Ramirez, his clothing exhibited a deeper, more natural red than it looked on previous versions. The Silver Cup sign in the climax visually pops more, as does the lightning feature throughout the film during the quickening sequences. Generally, colors appear more natural and reserved, but visually pleasing. Black levels are presented well throughout the film. As I previously mentioned, grain can get heavier here, but I didn't find it obstructing detail. Shadows are nicely featured with no apparent signs of crush. One of the strongest benefits of this 4K release is, of course, going to be the bump in textures.
Happy Halloween, ladies! The Kurgan is visibly more punk than ever, especially in the scene where he taunts Connor in the church. Facial stubble, clothing, and other close-ups yield great results, and those added details are more than worth the price of admission. There is occasional source-related softness in the picture, but otherwise the uptick offers notable improvements throughout. Highlander on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a DTS 5.1 as well as a 2.0 audio mix. Admittedly, I would have 100% been on board with the Dolby Atmos upgrade. It definitely could have used it, but this new 4K, however, just takes the Blu-ray tracks and ports them over cut and paste style. In truth, I've always felt the 5.1 was fine, if just a little bit uneven. I typically gravitate towards the 2.0, which is, in my opinion, the stronger of the two. Queen is of course the highlight of the soundtrack, and rightfully so. During the many sword fights, steel clings against one another to great effect, and other in-film action scenes have a satisfying presence. Ambience in the rears is used sparingly, but the final quickening sequence is the most immersive part of the film, and it doesn't disappoint. Dialogue is clear and nicely prioritized in the center with no issues of distortion. The low end has a fair amount of heft, and while the audio is clearly a product of its time, it still offers a solid presence. For the picture quality, I'm going to give Highlander on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a B+. The movie has had a rough history on the home media formats, and thankfully it appears to have been largely rectified here on the 4K. Colors are more natural, black levels are deep, and the overall image from the restoration is a welcome improvement. There can be only one, and it's definitely this 4K. For the audio mix, I'm going to score this one a B-. Truthfully, I feel the lack of an Atmos upgrade was certainly a missed opportunity. Both DTS tracks are good, not great, but they're very clean in their overall presentations. Crank up the volume, sit back, and enjoy the Queen-infused audio mix. So that is my review of Highlander on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in picking up a copy for yourself, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.